I fell head over heels in love with Remnant 1. Let's do that again. I fell head over heels in love with Remnant 1. That's a reference to the roll mechanic. 2019 from Gunfire Games. It was sequeled in 2023. Remnant from the Ashes 2 is one hell of a game, and it won my 2023 Game of the Year award. A Souls-like with guns. That's exactly what it is. The sequel is everything that the original game is and more, but there are deficiencies. We're going to have a look at them. The first thing I want to address is how the frig I put 150 hours into the original game. I actually went through it twice, did a torturous solo run, and then did it with some mates 3-player. Some of that was spent in its excellent DLC, Subject 2329, which is essentially a Skaven expansion. Skaven is a reference to the Warhammer giant rat beasts. I think they know Coop. We will be having a look at that towards the end of the video, but I wanted to just focus on that base level campaign. I put together 3 sort of character builds, one of which is quite low level, so I could visit some of the original game. And guess what? I'm fighting a load of humans, the Mud Dogs or something like that. So here's one of the major sellers for the Remnant series, the procedural reroll on the levels and enemies that you get. I had still not seen this setup 150 hours into the game. It will also re-roll the end of level boss, so not only will you get a fresh setup with the map, but you'll also get something new to fight, which could potentially give you a new weapon or mod.
Kill him.
This is crazy, fighting other humans with guns. They've got dogs, they're taking cover, they're using shotguns on me, and then I got to a potentially new boss. Remember, 150 hours.
Well, ain't you a right mutter, coming in here all by your lonesome. Most folk ain't so dumb.
This game is quite literally fire still, and we need to talk about its performance because there is controversy afoot. In 2021, it got a 9th generation patch boosting the graphics and performance. I'm pretty sure it came out the gate at 4K and 60 FPS flat, no option. And then they split it to 30 frames 4K and then a 1080 at 60. That goes for the X and PS5. The S just gets that 60 1080p.
This ain't good.
I might be remembering that wrong, and I'm pretty sure it was one of you that pointed out to me that that patch has been downgraded and split into 2 separate modes. But let's not worry too much. I went with the 60 frames per second, and we're now going to look at that new DLC. I say new, came out in August of 2020. So this game's 7 years old. That one is still blowing my mind.
What in talk
Is that
Look,
hun
that not what I
anticipating?
So you're kind of whisked off to this like Arctic medieval derelict giant rat citadel. I think that's the best way to explain it. And not all of them are completely against you. There's some very interesting NPCs in here. And check out this Frost Blight.
see them need. Whoa. It's over.
How the hell are you supposed to get anything done with that on the screen? It was very desperate for me. It felt like Shackleton. Brand new creatures, brand new attack patterns, brand new levels, brand new projectiles coming at you. More importantly, brand new bosses. These little weird underground hairless cave rats that drop on top of your head. There's also somersaulting ninja-like ones and flyers. Remnant also uses the technique that if you're not looking down your sights, if you're not using L2, R2, which would normally be fire, turns into close quarters attack. And that weapon can be switched out as well. I'm using some quite late game weapons and equipment here, so try not to salivate too much over what you're looking at. And here comes a mid-level big boy. This was the first game to implement that noise that comes in when an overpowered additional has been introduced to the map and everyone just craps themselves. Dusting off this old input template in the noggin was also a bit of a joy. It came back very fast sometimes. Dang, this thing runs well. Having a solid performance in a third-person action game like this, particularly one that's Souls-like and extremely tense, is a great feeling. This DLC got 6 out of 10 on Steam, which is quite surprising to me because it's just a higher level of entertainment as the base game campaign. I've just checked because base game's sitting on the Sony store, but it's priced. It's around £35. I was convinced it was on Extra or had gone past on Essential at some point. Subject 2393 is like $9. So if you own this, it went back on the shelf for less than a tenner. You can get some amazing new content. Bracket 6 out of 10. Don't listen to it. I've got that machine gun turret mod going, which feels surprisingly OP, but I think it is friendly fire. So if you're in multiplayer and you start throwing those things around, there could be some problems. And talking of problems, I came up to my first boss. Remember me talking about that movement template needed dusting off? Bro just snapped that template, and threw it on the ground and said, build a new one, because you've clearly forgotten how difficult Remnant bosses are. He's got a great intro as well, and this is the only bit of texture popping I ever saw in the playthrough. Because I've got Gandalf levels of rank, I'm thinking I'm just going to cheese this. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use all my mods that are either turrets or standalone punishment deliverers, like those tentacles. He just wasn't having it, and maneuvering around all of my ideas and kicking my ass.
This ain't good.
The way he jumps out of the smoke like that, smashes you in the face with one of his shields, did not feel like an 8th generation video game. I know we've got some boosts on the 5, but this still looks incredible. You're not timing your rolling right. Yes, I am well aware a new template was built, and this brings me on to the clickbaity intro about Remnant from the Ashes 2's deficiency. Look at the absolute state of this. Frostbitten, there is an item to take, I do work that out.
I'm in trouble.
But I'm wearing all the wrong garb. I'm prancing around in an outfit that I used for capture years ago. Quick trip back to Award 13, and I now realise that I can just about double my armour and get the typewriter going, and of course he's weak to fire. That one's pretty obvious seeing as we're in the Arctic.
This ain't good.
Still went down to the absolute wire though. On the outfit point, I got to late game in Remnant from the Ashes 2 wearing exactly the same thing I had when I walked out for the tutorial. I think I found one like root helmet thing, but it is not switch out, switch in. Really amazing new sets are coming in constantly, and I really miss that with 2. Goes full Shadow of the Colossus here. Spoilers by the way, this is quite late game in the DLC. Sticking on the subject of DLC, there is the Swamps of Chorus, which is a level they threw in to the base game that mixes in with what's already there essentially, and it's very good. It's a unique map and I think comes with a couple of re-rolled bosses. The internet is saying it's paid DLC, but I'm sure that was thrown in free with that adventure mode update. And we saw the survivor mode, which is a rogue-like run system. There's a hub, you're dropped random items, and it can also be played 3-player. This dude is as fun as he looks, a little bit of a Returnal vibe there, and you get given a gun, which does feel a bit like that Hollow Seeker.
I'm in trouble.
So there are loads of reasons to go back to Remnant 1, the main being this awesome DLC. If you played 2 and you want more, then head to this because you will certainly find it. And you will all know the message of the game, you'll hit the ground running. If you've never played the Remnant series and you want to start with 1, there is no harm in that. But if you want to go straight to the top of the shelf, which essentially is 2, you will also have an incredible experience. This game does not get enough mentions in top Souls-likes lists. It leans on massive amounts of procedural re-roll with your environments and enemies, and that extends to the rewards that you receive. It's a never-ending, perpetually awesome experience. My name was Couch Coop, and I'll see you down there. What was that?